So section 2.2, number 28. We're given the equation 3.5x minus 8 is equal to 0.5x. We're told to solve this algebraically for the x that satisfies this equation. And number 2, set up an equation where this is equal to 0 and show that the x that satisfies this equation is the x that makes that function cross 0. Okay? Alright, so hopefully it'll make more sense once we start going. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to solve this thing for x. So I want to move all the x's to one side, all the non-x's to the other. So if I subtract my 0.5x from both sides, right, you have to do things to the same thing to both sides to keep it an equation. Okay, and if we add 8 to both sides, okay, now on this side of the equation, the adding and the subtracting are going to cancel out. On this side of the equation, the adding and the subtracting will also cancel out. So what's left over? 3.5x minus 0.5x is equal to 8. Okay? Well, 3.5 of something, if we take away half of something, we're left with 3 of that something. That has to be equal to 8. Now we have no more additions, so if we divide both sides by 3, 3 on top, 3 on the bottom, since this is a multiplication, that'll cancel out. So x is equal to 8/3, or for you decimal types, this is going to be approximately 2.6667-ish. Okay? All right. So that's my claim for the x that satisfies our original equation. Okay? Now, if we want to graph this thing and find the x, crossing the x-axis is going to be the easiest thing to do. So I want to set this up in terms of a nice equation is equal to 0. Okay? So in that case, I'm going to have my 3.5x minus 8 equals 0.5x. Now, if I just subtract whatever I have over here to the other side, right, then I will get a nice 0 on the other side. So minus 0.5x, and I'm going to subtract 0.5x. Okay? Over here, adding and subtracting, that's going to cancel out, leaving the 0. 3.5x minus the 0.5x, if I take away half of it, I'll have 3x minus 8 is equal to 0. And this is the thing that I'm going to look for. What I'm going to graph, y is equal to 3x minus 8, and look where this thing crosses the x-axis, right? Where it crosses the x-axis, that's going to be the 0, and I think it's going to be around 2.6, 2.7-ish. All right, so looking at our handy-dandy grapher, we're going to input our equation y is equal to 3x minus 8. Okay, and we're going to look and see where this thing crosses the x-axis. Okay. It's crossing the x-axis between 2 and 3. So it's equal to 0 at about 2.66-ish, okay? Which is awfully close to the 8/3 that I'm pointing at that you can't see, okay? That we got from our original calculation, okay? So that is the 0 of this equation. And since our original equation, right, we could set it up so that 3x minus 8 was equal to 0. So that 0, the x value that gives us that 0, solves our original equation.